Hello, and welcome back to A Geek's Garage. Welcome to the last video of the series of me rebuilding my 1991 Dodge Stealth. As it turns out, I didn't record a lot of video as I finished things up. That includes an intro for this video, as well as some of the final work that I did on the car as I was trying to get ready to have construction start on my garage. So instead, I'm going to do a little bit of talking over the video as it moves forward here. The first thing you're going to see is that I'm getting ready to use a pre-oiler to basically push oil into the engine before I start it so that it's hopefully as safe as humanly possible. The pre-oiler ended up working out really well for multiple reasons. One, it got all the oil into the engine and built up some pressure before I started and cranked it over. But the other thing that was really great is it helped me find a bunch of leaks that I had in the oil system. If you watch the floor under the car in a few minutes, you'll see two small oil leaks start up. Both of them came from the turbos. As it turned out, I did not tighten up all of the oil lines properly on the turbos, so luckily I was able to get in there with some wrenches and tighten everything down a little bit better, and that did end up stopping the oil leaks. The oil PreLube tank just hooks into the same location as the oil pressure sensor, and the whole process probably took me about 10 to 15 minutes to complete. Worked really well. A little bit of kitty litter to clean up the oil spills, and we'll move on to the next step. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I forgot to record some stuff. But this is where I was at when I was ready to start the engine. Basically, I had taken care of all of these steps and was ready to go. Few last little things I want to tweak here, and then what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to disconnect the PTU and then crank the engine over a few times just to get the oil pressure back up again to make sure that we're really good to go and that we're not doing a cold start on this with no engine oil pressure whatsoever. That was fun.
Is that what you wanted to have happen?
Yep, so far.
Okay.
With the engine oil pressure up, go ahead and I'm going to reconnect all the spark plug wires, and we're going to try and fire this for the first time in probably 2.5 years.
Okay.
Here goes.
All right, hold on. Let me get back into position. All right, baby.
And just like that, it fires up with no problems whatsoever. In an almost immediate start. I was absolutely stunned. Those of you who know what these cars sound like will notice that it sounds pretty loud. That's because there's no muffler. At this point, it's still straight piped. Taking a quick look at the dash, you can see I've got a few lights on. That's not a big deal. But the big thing here is you can see I have oil pressure. That was the big thing. So as the smoke starts to clear from the engine compartment, I do a little happy dance off camera because I didn't want anybody seeing that, and then just do some final inspections, take a look at a few more things, and then go and celebrate, because this was a long project. First car I've ever tried to rebuild, and it worked. Amazingly, it worked. Kind of de-smoke for a minute, and then probably try starting again. One thing, it was having trouble idling, so I'll have to figure that one out. As it turns out, the problem with the engine idling was the throttle position sensor. So if you run into this problem, that would be the first place to check. There's diagnostic steps that you can use to actually test the sensor to make sure it is or isn't working, and in my case it was definitely not, so I replaced that, and that fixed the problem. So unfortunately, in my excitement to get this car running, because I was also trying to build my new garage extension, I didn't end up videoing a lot of the final steps that I took. Most of the steps were actually just based around getting the brakes taken care of. I basically flushed the brake fluid through all the lines to get all new brake fluid in the car, and then I also replaced the pads and the rotors on the brakes. All new tires on the car, and really that's about it.
16 paranoia-filled days later.
And here she is, on all fours and about to roll out of the garage. And with that, I give you my 1991 Dodge Stealth Twin Turbo, rebuilt by A Geek's Garage. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button, and also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. There you'll be able to see some of my upcoming videos and what I'm working on next. Be sure to leave comments down below, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.